Today I'm going to debunk some lies and misinformation from the ultimate grifter, Matt Goodwin. This is a highly educated individual who should know better. He knows he's lying, but he's all about that money, so let's get straight into the video and debunk the lies and misinformation of Matt Goodwin.
You understand that's a symbol of an institution that is embracing radical gender ideology, which is why we have schools.
I think that
they have to put this prefix. It's radical. It's radical that people have the freedom to identify in whatever way they choose, as long as it's not harming people. And then ideology to make it seem like, oh, it's made up. Yeah, gender is a construct. It's a social construct. We came up with this term. We define gender in the same way we define woman. So you have to make it sound scary. It's scary.
It's such a remarkable stretch to say that
we have public institutions that have unisex toilets. We have women being forced to share spaces.
TV News has
with men
unisex
and boys.
toilets.
TV News, the ultimate right-wing outlet, has unisex toilets. So what he's implying here is that somehow men and women are in the toilet at the same time. No, unisex toilets are just a shared toilet. Yeah, it's pretty disgusting. Men and women are disgusting. But he's implying a lie here. Again, a lie.
So you are fine with radical gender ideology being...
Just repeat it. It's a buzzword. Just repeat it. Radical. Radical. That means it's bad. Oh, trans people are bad. Don't actually have an argument or evidence.
Imposed on public institutions. You're fine with little boys being told that they can self-identify
Yes, little boys should be able to identify how they choose, as long as they're not harming people. A little boy wants to wear a little dress, that's fine. What harm is being caused here? No harm is being caused.
Firstly, the whole idea of radical gender ideology I don't accept. But more crucially...
So you believe that somebody's gender identity supersedes their biological sex?
One second.
Yes, gender. People should choose how they see themselves, their identity. You don't get to choose if someone defines themselves by their biology, their genitalia. That's a freedom argument. Like the idea that people are biologically determined by their sex is gender essentialism. As in, like, men are this, women are that. That's what he's saying. But you can't be honest, so he has to say, oh no, you're radical. No, you're the radical one because you are saying people should act this way based on their biology. Women should act like this, men should act like that. No, the trans argument is the freedom argument, where people can identify as they like, whatever they want, as long as no harm is being caused. That's the main argument, the freedom argument. And that's how we've got to frame it. It's a question of freedom. And they are trying to suppress people's freedom.
No, I think that gender and sex can be different. It's not a supersession type issue. Gender is something that we perform, and sex is something that we're born with, right?
Well, that's true, but I wouldn't frame it this way, because they don't care about gender. It's the freedom argument. That's all you got to do. Ask for the evidence of harm, and then the freedom argument. As long as no harm is being caused, which it's not, they would have the studies if there was. Just hammer on the freedom argument. This is why we're losing the debate in these kind of terms, because we've got to focus on what's at stake, and it's freedom.
That's the facts of the matter. But I don't possibly see...
That's your fact.
I don't possibly see how an IT guy, whether he puts he, him, or whatever at the bottom of his email signature, is either here nor there. The whole thing seems to be a completely got up nonsense. As I said, I don't think the guy should lose his job.
You're missing the point.
Michelle, sorry, can I just quickly come in here?
It's just a reflection of what's going on. This is not about whether or not an IT guy is this, that, or the other. This is about whether or not institutions, particularly public ones, should be embracing this ideology that has proven to be firstly very contested and disputed.
No, it hasn't. There's medical consensus, psychiatric consensus, academic consensus that there's validity to identifying as the gender you were not assigned to at birth. This is not For TERFs and radical, exclusionary radical feminists, yeah, but for the scientific consensus, it's not radical. And also,
secondly, based in no facts and reality, and thirdly, harmful, particularly to women and children.
no, it's not. Where's the evidence here? Give me studies that there's a systemic and huge problem of trans people attacking cis women in. It's not there. If they had the information, they'd be given it. She's lying here. It's based on a lie. And they know it.
Well, I'm sure that the second and the third points would be heavily contested by people who are knowledgeable about
You
this.
don't think gender ideology
this
is
stuff
harmful to women and children?
I don't.
It's frustrating because you just got to say, well, where's your evidence? Not anecdote, hard data that trans people, there's a significant problem of all these thousands. I mean, trans people make up such a small percentage of the population. They have to blow it out of hand. They have to exaggerate, lie.
Don't think that so-called gender ideology.
Do you think? I mean, like, no. Sorry, can I just ask a couple of questions?
We're talking about the most trivial thing possible, and I accept the council should not.
When you're talking
the
about,
council should not have done this thing against him because
James,
of it.
it's not about
but what
this
someone
case.
puts at the end of their email signature just could not matter less.
Right. First of all,
I don't care.
Fine, that's fine. That's your view. Why not let someone else have a view? When you're asking people, employees of public institutions, to express allegiance to a political ideology, that is not silly. That is a symbol of that institution embracing.
It's not a political ideology. Would you say this about race or kind of women in the workplace? No, you wouldn't. You'd be like, no, trans people are valid. They should, we should accept them and respect their pronouns. It's really that simple. Like the fact that he thinks this is such a thing, it's like, it's a non-issue. And obviously this guy's like kind of doesn't know how to address it, but you address it as people should have the freedom to identify how they choose. Institutions are always having stuff imposed on them. But freedom argument, no evidence of harm, that's simple. And just mock him. Like, why are you so obsessed with trans children? Like, why don't we just focus on real problems like the economy, capitalism, inequality? No, they don't. It's culture wars to distract from the real issues facing capitalism. And they know it. He's a lying grifter. He used to be fairly liberal on the left. Now he's realised there's sweet cash in the grift game. And that's it now. No one believes anything. You can't argue this guy out of this because it's anti-empiricist, anti-intellectual, not based in evidence, just based in fear-mongering, lies and misinformation. And that's the world we live in today. And how do you deal with it? All you can do is call it out. You can't convince them. There's such brain rot in people who believe this stuff. It's not based in evidence. You just got to call it out, and that's all I can do. So hit the like button, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.